Good Saturday morning, neighbors. So I still hadn't checked my earlier video. It's about oceans, but it's not very effective. You really need charts and graphs and pictures to be able to put a story together. The story together, not a story, but it's only a part of the story no matter what you put together. So, hey, most of what I'm speaking to has been nuclear pollution because in a way, it's easier to find than some other pollutions. The way the instruments work and the measurements can work to some degree, those Geiger counters, and more important, are spectrometers or scintillation detectors, because of their sensitivity, can measure these things so we can know about it. We can create a map showing what the aftermath looks like, even if we didn't do the math up front. This is the facts of these measurements. And folks get it, but the measurements are stochastic, meaning that they are statistical odds of something happening. They're hard odds. They're the odds of you winning when you walk in the casino. Somebody's going to get those cancers. It's kind of the rules. But in that, I'm talking about pollution, environmental pollution, no matter what it is. Okay, radiation is a carcinogen. The byproducts are carcinogens, hazardous materials, many of them, and some of them are fairly harmless. But once they're out there, you know statistically, because this is your job, this is your profession, you've worked inside some massive organizational structure studying this for some time, and you know this is what happens. Again, I noted before that you make a decision on whether to build a hospital for the future based upon this kind of information. So, why is pollution important? Another video I mentioned PCBs, polychlorinated biphenyls, and there's another word that'll come back to me you'll recognize. Those can't be detected with a Geiger counter. Those take more specific instruments designed to detect it. If I took that sample and did a pH smear with it, I don't think it'd tell me anything significant. So again, to answer the question, are there harmful dioxins? That was the word I was looking for. Polychlorinated biphenyls and dioxins. Dioxins are the more the insidious ones. If you look at the dioxin class of carcinogens, then you learn a little bit more. So these types of measurements, the professionals that surround the measurements, that do the measurements, the labs they're sent to, these can be selected to tell a story. And they can be a story for today to scare you, to force you to do a cleanup, or they can be a story for tomorrow that you ought to do something. And then it comes down to financial resources, because nothing's free. Nothing is free. So pollution is my thing. I talk about nuclear because it is one of the worst, but it's relative. It's being outdone by other pollutants. I've mentioned Bhopal. Bhopal is a piece of history ongoing still from decades ago, where a chemical plant, not a nuclear facility, blew up and basically released pesticides or insecticides or something across a good part of India. And the results are out there. You can go find them. If you would like, you can go find out what depleted uranium does. The latest example is where we used it in Iraq. Dr. Chris Busby and others have done this. It's not just him saying it. He did some proof and got some heat for it. So thank you, Dr. Busby. So it is it is one of the towers of the sciences that I'm speaking to that's related to the other towers of the sciences. So if our elected officials do not have half a clue about half-lives, okay? I mentioned half-lives in another video. A biological half-life is how long something is going to be in your body. It doesn't include whether it'll kill you or not. It might say it could kill you at these levels, but at a lower level, it might not kill you. Statistics, advanced physics, particle physics. The relationships are there, but you can't get carried away with them. It doesn't matter how the universe began, we're here now. And we have to deal with now. So, hey, love rings, peace, and oatmeal.